there are fewer icons in the video game world like Mario.
And now, Illumination Nintendo finally gives all the Nintendo fans the movie they deserve with the new Super Mario Brothers movie. I'm DJ Gove.
And I am Klep Napier, y'all, and we are here to talk about, break down, and review the Super Mario Brothers movie.
It's a goal.
Listen, so we started separately this time.
We did. Yeah, you went during the day.
I couldn't wait.
I know.
I couldn't wait. Listen, I had to just go. I threw myself into Showcase Cinemas, went to an X Plus screening, the very first screening, by the way. Actually, I heard there was a midnight screening out there somewhere. But
not around here.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard there was a rumor. There was a rumor.
Showcase didn't tell us.
Yeah, but I saw it at like 11:30 in the morning.
Was it 3D? Was yours 3D?
No, it wasn't 3D.
Oh, okay.
It was X Plus. But it's funny because it was packed.
Dude,
it was packed.
I went after work. Wednesday's my meeting day at the day job. I couldn't get out, but I think they had 5 screenings last night.
Okay.
Place was mobbed. It was like old school, middle of July, Marvel movie dropped or something like that, or like Pixar movie dropped. This thing is, dude, like literally just there's a guy over at Nintendo right now just hitting bricks and gold coins just popping out of it.
That's the way that I love the movie theater to be. A lot of people aren't fans of packed theaters, but like I said, I love to watch the experience through the eyes of the audience.
Yeah, I went to a later one on purpose, not to be grinchy, but I didn't want a ton of kids in the theaters because, I've been there, done that, and past that phase in life. There was a couple, but they were all very well behaved, and it was it was fun. Like people, it was great.
See, when you go early, you get the supervised kids because the parents were there.
Yeah, or the kids should be in flipping school.
So yeah, let's talk about Super Mario Brothers the movie.
Yeah.
First of all, listen, I'm a huge fan of this game. Anyone that was born in that era, 80s, early 90s.
I still am Mr. Nintendo.
We all, for most of us, our first time touching a controller was Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, but Mario Brothers.
Yeah, no, for me, like I'm such a super electronic nerd that I'm like an Atari guy.
Yeah, I mean, I had an Atari too, but my first real experience of this is something that I can't control was through the Nintendo and through Mario.
Yeah, and the first for me, I have them all. I have every piece of Nintendo hardware that's ever made. I'm a big Nintendo guy, but I remember I think the first year I ever got what I wanted for Christmas was when Mario 3 came out that year.
Oh.
And of course, if you didn't have that game, you were a chump back in the day.
I remember when I got Mario 3. I remember that.
Yeah, so like I said, the theater was popping, which was awesome. I mean, every screen was packed. I didn't do X Plus because I was afraid it was going to be 3D. I did a standard screen, but that's okay because my wife can't do 3D either.
Yeah.
So me and the wife went. Get out of the way. Is it the greatest movie ever? No, it's a fairly straightforward family movie. However, if you know, and if you're a Nintendo guy, this thing is littered with Easter eggs and little prizes everywhere you look. There's that, and every time you see it, it's just it's a little heartstring tug. It's like, you remember this? Remember this? You used to have this. You used to play this.
And that's why I argue. To me, it's a damn good movie.
Oh yeah, it didn't change the game or nothing.
And when I mean. See, but I totally disagree.
Okay.
And the reason I totally disagree is because, like you said, if you know, you know. This movie is not made for casuals. It's not supposed to be for casuals. And I'll give an example. When I watch, because we're just going to talk about why we love this film before we get into the things we don't like about this film. And I got to give you guys fair warning. Spoilers may be among us. If you do not want it to get spoiled, please go to showcasecinemas.com. Go get your tickets. Go see this movie this weekend.
However,
come back.
If you've ever played the games, there's not a lot of spoilers.
If you've ever watched the cartoon.
So I will. Let me backtrack because when I say I'm saying the formula of the movie is very similar to a lot of other family movies. You know. However, I don't think you've ever had fan service like you have just right on Main Street with this movie. They knew exactly what they had to do.
Yeah.
They did everything they had to do. And they gave you as much as they could without going overboard.
Yeah. So with that, spoiler alert, if you got, like I said, go get your tickets, come back, and then drop your comments down below. Tell me if you hated it. Tell me if you loved it. Tell me I don't know what I'm talking about.
Tell us your favorite Mario game.
Yeah, that too. So, Mario Brothers the movie. I watched this thing. And off rip, I'm already smiling. Like I'm already like,
I was smiling at the credits, man.
Dude, I feel like I was like 9 years old all over again, and I'm literally watching the game. I said in a status that I posted on my immediately when I walked out, this movie feels like you're an hour and a half of watching someone's gameplay.
Yeah,
because it's like every scene is like taking you through.
First, gorgeous flick.
Oh,
animation is the way so they made it with subtle changes, like even just little stuff like the Shy Guys, right? I love the Shy Guys. The texture in the cloak under the mask, and they move just like Shy Guys. Everything moves like it's supposed to. They didn't change anything. The flying turtles fly like the turtles do, and the turtles move like the turtles do, and the shells move like the shells move, and they bounce against stuff like they're supposed to, and they changed nothing. You can very much tell Nintendo didn't just license a movie out. They had their hands in this cookie jar the whole time because it's so faithful. I don't think anything's ever been that faithful of an adaptation.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. The first thing that everybody was complaining about when they first saw the trailer was the voice. The Chris Pratt Mario voice, which gets addressed immediately, almost immediately into the movie. In the best possible way.
They do, kind of.
Did you have a problem with it at all? Like, even in the trailers? Or did you need that little bit of explanation in the movie?
No, because, I mean, I get why people are mad, but, like we met Charles Martinet. He's a great guy. I mean, he's a legend in the video game industry, but... In the games, Mario goes, it's a go. That's all he does. You can't do that for 2 hours in a movie, and you need the name on the poster. I think it's $100 million movie. You have to have the name on the poster. So I didn't mind the Chris Pratt stuff at all. The only thing I would say with the voice at all that got me was I think they used the Mamma Mia term a bit too much. It kind of got old for me, but he said it about 50 times in the movie. But no, I mean, I thought Charlie Day did great. I thought Key did an excellent job as Toad.
He did.
I mean, probably my favorite character. We'll get to it. Fred Armisen killed it as Cranky Kong.
My favorite was Bowser, but we'll get.
I was just about to and you. I don't know if you can do this, but can you have an actor get nominated for like a Golden Globe for playing an animated dragon? Because Jack Black killed it in this movie. I used to it would probably. I don't know if it's as good as him playing a 15-year-old girl in Jumanji, which I thought was one of the best things ever put on film. But this was right up there, man. Bowser stole the show.
He
was outstanding in this movie. Hilarious.
So let's talk about the nods. There are so many Easter eggs in this film. I told the audience when I dropped my out of the theater reaction that you need to make your eyes ping pong because you could possibly miss something. You put me onto something that I missed, and I'm like, and I knew that was the name of the calf, but I didn't even catch those characters.
Yes,
I did, however, see him playing the video game.
So right in the beginning of the movie, the pizza place in Brooklyn is called Punch Out Pizza.
Yeah.
So of course on the wall there's like Doc and Widow Mac and Glass Joe and like Piston Honda and Ball Bull.
I didn't even catch that,
which is amazing because I love the Punch Out games. Like Punch Out is my favorite sports game. But also you have the Jumpman arcade machine, which is what Mario was called originally in Japan. And you have basically the original rendering of Mario playing the Jumpman game in the pizza place, and that's voiced by Charles Martinet.
And there was another nod to the original Mario as well. His grandfather. And also
before they found the pipe, when they walk into the bricks, that's the level for the original Mario Brothers game.
Yeah.
So like I said, dude, they hide stuff everywhere in this. There's stuff everywhere.
If like I said, if you know, you know. If you don't know, I gotta say I'm sorry because I really think, listen, this movie is not for the intricate thinkers or this was fan service. This is like, if you play that game or you've watched the cartoon, this is everything we've ever loved. Like when I'm watching it, I remember the emotion of when I used to obsess over playing this game.
The first time you got a fire flower.
Everything. There was one thing that I didn't remember because it was probably out of my generation. Was the cat suit. I didn't know about the cat suit.
Okay, yeah, the cat suit's Mario 3D World from the Wii U.
Okay, see, yeah. So we was like that was like my exit. Like I never, after GameCube was kind of like.
Wait. Did you notice Luigi's ringtone is the GameCube startup noise?
Yeah, yeah. So when that hit, I kind of was already I aged out of it. I was dabbling with PS and things like that.
The ice flower, the raccoon suit.
I knew the raccoon from 3,
but the raccoon in 3 is different than the raccoon suit they do in Mario World. The cat. So basically, they did a real good job. Whether you were 5 years old and you picked up a controller in 1986 or whatever it was, and you played the little 2-bit one, the entire beginning of the movie is a straight 2D level, basically. or whether you're one of these newer kids. I mean, they did a good job balancing it because let's face it, a lot of the audience you're gonna have younger kids because let's face it, the Switch is the number 2 selling video game console of all time behind the PlayStation 2. Yeah. So you had plenty of Mario 3D World, plenty of Mario Kart, Mario Galaxy, and all the way down the line. They filled in as much as they could. There's a little of every Mario game in this movie. There's little Easter eggs from Super Mario World and Yoshi's Island, and it's just it's.
How about the obvious one, Smash Brothers?
There's a Smash Brothers fight. You have a full-blown Smash Brothers fight in a Smash Brothers arena. And then in the Smash Brothers arena, it cameos 3 other characters. Yeah. I mean, it's like...
Yeah. They how did you feel about Seth Rogen? Forgettable?
So here's the thing with Seth Rogen. I don't mind Seth Rogen. Green Hornet aside. Yeah. My favorite Nintendo character is probably Donkey Kong. I'm a huge gorilla and monkey fan anyway. And I like all the big tank characters, your Juggernaut, your Colossus, et cetera, et cetera. So I love Donkey Kong. Okay. I was a little afraid of them making him talk, but it just worked because the chemistry, even though they're in separate booths recording, everything just gelled so well together. Yeah. It was insane how well it all worked.
One of my favorite Easter eggs in this whole thing was in the very beginning, before they actually go to the Mushroom Kingdom, is the side scroll with him and when they're on their way to their first job.
Or how about the guy in their town or in their neighborhood that doesn't like him? His name is Spike, which was Bowser's original name.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, and then he had a son that was Spike too.
Yeah.
One of the little Koopas. I thoroughly enjoyed the aura of this movie overall, just being there and watching this play out and being able to remember everything about this game that I loved when I played with certain power-ups and things like everything about it was just amazing.
We went home and fired up Mario 3.
Dude, you just got it. Listen, I got it right over there, Mario 3, the original box. Yeah. So let's talk about what I didn't like about this film, because there was one major thing in this thing and it's not even a big deal. It's just I feel like this is the part where they lose the adults. Okay. The storyline, of course, is for the children. Yeah. It was just to get them entertained and keep them through it. I've seen parents posting that, hey, they didn't like it at all, and their kid wasn't entertained at all. And hold on. They weren't even, they weren't even paying attention. They pull out their little tablets and whatever. But there was a storyline, a plot line with Bowser that I was not a fan of because I thought it just kind of diminished the terror.
The wedding stuff?
Yeah,
so here's the thing. This is the old school guy in you. That's the entire story arc of Mario Odyssey, the one that came out for the Switch. That's his top hat. That's her wedding dress. The amiibos are for that game. That's all straight out of Mario Odyssey.
See,
I said, every game gets touched.
And when did that game come out?
4 years ago when the Switch came out.
Wow. See, it's a recent storyline, and to me, it felt played. To me, it felt like this is cliche stuff. The bad guy wanting to marry the woman she's not interested in him, and he really low-key likes her, but he's really mean. I thought it was a little played. I get it. It's part of the lore, but for me, being partly casual in the newer stuff, it didn't grab me. I was just like, this is kind of
So the way I took it, because like I said, obviously I've gone through Odyssey, I beat it. I don't know what game. It's the direct sequel to Mario 64.
Really?
Yeah, game's dope.
Yeah, Mario 64 is fire. They took a nod from that,
They took 64 too. Yeah. So the way I took it is 2 things. Number 1 is I think Bowser, if you don't soften him on the edges, can be extremely scary character. He's terrifying just from the looks.
In this movie, he was
terrifying. Also, I think they had to give Jack Black a reason to sing and goof around a little bit.
Yeah, that was another
I think that's
thing.
what it was. It was it was the gateway to Jack Black. And every time he did it, you notice the name on the piano?
Peaches.
The name of the piano, the Ludwig von Koopa piano.
Yeah. Listen, man, like I said, that was a small thing that I didn't like just for me because I was into it and I was loving the terrifying Bowser. And I thought, we were going to get a real legit, serious little story around all the magic and all that stuff. Yeah. And then, they hit me with that and I was just like, oh, man.
But again,
that was a bummer.
That's you're pulling it back into your G realm for the kids,
Yeah. But other than that, it's a solid flick for me. I'll see it more than once because I sit at home and I watch the cartoon from the 90s. I watch it all the time because it just reminds me of what it was like to play the game. Sometimes I'll even pull the game out and play the game.
If you have the choice, go watch the movie again at your local showcase because the cartoon does not hold up.
Yeah. Stay away from that 90s cartoon if you can. But yeah, the movie, I think overall, Super Mario Brothers is a solid movie, especially for families.
Especially for Nintendo families.
Yeah, and you want to watch it with kids who will pay attention to it. Yeah. I understand that there are an age group of kids who just have short attention spans, and they're not going to be able to sit through all that blah 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 flashing lights and things of that nature. So if you're going to see it with kids that are that understand the game and are fans of the game.
My theater had everything from kids who had to be carried into the theater to 50, 60-year-old adults to a grip of college kids in that thing. Yeah. So it was a very diverse crowd. Like I said, they hit everything. I mean, I do hear some people griping, "There's not enough Yoshi."
Oh, listen.
It's like, dude, you got to sit. Look, they're making more than one of these.
No.
They knew they were making money.
Stay for the post-credit scenes.
Yeah.
Okay, listen.
It's all set up for the kids to come try to break the old man out. So
there's nothing. Listen, you can complain about. There's only one complaint that I had.
I have one big one.
One complaint because my post-credit scene idea didn't get used. And I was kind of upset, but I'm thoroughly satisfied with the movie.
Is it you realizing that there's more games after 1999?
No. I knew that. But my post-credit scene would have been Wario.
Yeah, I think
And I was waiting for something in the movie to happen that would be like, oh, maybe there's gonna be nothing happening.
Yeah. So the way I took the post-credit scene is, so if you're going in order, right?
Yeah.
So Bowser's your first big bad.
Yep.
They set it up so that you could kind of go Mario 3 and the kids can come and try to break Bowser out. Mm-hmm. Then if they go to a third one, then you do Wario and Luigi.
I mean, I hope they do the Dream. I hope they do the Dream in part 2. Like, really do it. Like, listen, Mario 2 is one of my favorite Marios, and they need to do that.
Yeah, I mean, they did. She did.
And then we'll get the frog.
She floated when she jumped and everything.
Yeah, and then we'll get the frog.
Oh, yeah.
The frog at the end.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, my biggest gripe was, because there was a good... For reasons, it's one of the best-selling franchises of all time. There's a lot of Mario Kart in this.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. I thought there was going to be way more.
But it's a major plot point.
Yeah.
It's awesome though. Yeah. But my favorite Mario Kart character, I'm a Toadette person, and there's no spoiler. There's no Toadette in the movie, but that's why there's a sequel coming. So yeah. There's got to be. They're going to greenlight probably
There's
Monday.
still so many places for this storyline to go. Mm-hmm. I don't want to drag this out because it's clear we enjoy this movie whether. He didn't have a problem with the plot points. I had a little bit of problem with the plot points, but I still am a huge fan of this film, and I will go see it more than once.
How much did you laugh during it?
I laughed a bit.
I laughed my head off.
I laughed a bit. But most of the laughs were chuckles at the things that I knew.
Exactly.
The Easter eggs.
My wife was on the time. Everyone was laughing.
There weren't like diehard jokes in it, but if you know... and when you're like, there was times where I felt like I was laughing alone.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't really a lot of people around me that could remember as far back as I could remember. But I'm
Mr. Don't talk during the movie, and I had to stop myself and grab my hey, there's that. Because it's like shiny nickel syndrome. There's just stuff everywhere. So which is how this kind of movie should be. Video game movies get a bad rap. They haven't been very good. I think, Sonic came along and was actually a pretty decent movie. Mm-hmm. Now they're starting to kick up, so I think now that Nintendo has this, Illumination partnership, sky's the limit because Nintendo has some just awesome properties.
Could you imagine?
God, don't even say it. But God forbid they do a Zelda movie.
God forbid they do a Mega Man. It's on Nintendo.
If Capcom's listening, call up Illumination, make a deal, get my Blue Bomber up on the screen because Mega Man's my all-time favorite video game character.
Yeah, and I
just want the soundtrack from that thing.
Dude, there's so many games that hit Nintendo that could
Let's talk about the music real quick. The music.
So
you get hints of all the music from the games, and they work in real songs.
Yeah.
They knew that the majority of the people who started playing Mario were '80s kids. So of course, what do? They worked in a Bonnie Tyler montage.
Yep.
Because you have to.
Yep.
And just stuff like that, where it's just this one's for you, and this one's for you, and they were just hitting home runs all over the place.
Yeah, nah, they nailed it, man.
Yeah, great time in the movies.
People can complain all they want. This movie it's solid enough to be I'm going back to yesteryear, and I'm gonna have a damn good time. Guys, girls, let us know. Have you seen Mario Brothers yet? Are you on your way to see Mario Brothers right now, or did you not even know there was a Super Mario Brothers movie? And if that's the case, God bless you.
You need to get the internet, I tell you. That thing has been everywhere.
As always, guys, I am Klepcx. This is my guy, DJ Gove. You know what I mean? And we want to thank you all for sitting here and talking with us or listening to us talk. And until next time, we hope you enjoy the show. Peace.